Hello and welcome TNL enjoyers. I'm More Better and you're watching a brand new tutorial on the new solo dungeon boss Umbrakan. As most of you are already aware, he's the latest boss on the new weekly Hall Evolution solo dungeon, and some are having issues learning the mechanics that ultimately one-shot them over and over and over again. Today we're going over his mechanics and how to ultimately defeat this boss to grab that good gear that we're all after. Before we move on, I'd like to first point out that I'm running this on tier 3 difficulty. This gives me an extra chance at a T2 item, but you don't necessarily have to go tier 3 if you don't have the gear for it. Last thing, I'll also be running the Liberator class for the sake of sustainability, but if you're good at dodging, any class is doable. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now that we are in here guys, before we begin, you have to remember the most important rule. And this rule would be to stack, dodge, debuff. All you have to do here is very simple. Just dodge his fury attacks and he won't one-shot you. It's a pretty good trade-off. Now, it does sound easier than it is, so let's go over it and show you what I'm talking about. Once you engage the boss, you will always jump into the air immediately almost every single time and slam down on the ground. Keep in mind that you can also be as close as you can to the boss, as he doesn't do any damage if he does land on you. This next attack will have to do with the important mechanic of the boss, and all you have to do is dodge it. Dodging the boss's fury attack will give him this debuff that you can see right here. These debuff stacks are the only thing keeping the boss from one-shotting you immediately. You can see these stacks only last for 30 seconds as well, so keep on dodging to keep him up. Remember, you're aiming for 6 minimum stacks before he gets to the mech. If you don't, you will get one shot. The very next mechanic is just as important. You can see here that he winds up for a rather usual Q block attack, so you might be wondering why it's so important then. Well, let's check out what happens when he does the stop attack and you don't have enough debuffs. As you can see, he will go into the, you guessed it, one-shot mechanic instead, making the situation one that you want to avoid at all costs. So be very careful to always be blocking as many attacks as possible to avoid that from ever happening, because let me tell you, it is very frustrating until you figure it out. These debuff stacks are the only thing keeping the boss from one-shotting you immediately. Now guys, there is one last thing I want to talk about, and that is, as I like to call it, the coffee break mechanic. Once you get all your blocks in and are at 7 stacks of block debuffs, his angry stomp attack will become a lot less lethal. All he will do here is just a Q block attack and then hop away and take a coffee break. This is where you can unleash everything you have on him and deal the most damage, so it always is beneficial to get the 7 stacks as fast as possible. Although he does take pretty short breaks, so you'll only be able to wail on him for 10 glorious seconds before he's back up and running ready for round 2. After this last boss mechanic guys, all you have to do is repeat all that we have went over so far. Watch your stamina, keep blocking every attack, get the 7 stacks as fast as possible, and always stay close to him so you don't miss a block on accident. Other than that guys, before I let the boss fight roll, I really do hope that this guide did help you or a friend out in some way. And if it did, please do take the 2 seconds to like and subscribe, as I will be releasing more guides soon as more content releases for the game. Also, if I did miss something or have any feedback guys, please do comment down below. Thanks for tuning in and I hope you enjoyed. Peace.